Welcome to No Nonsense Wellness, where we talk all things GLP-1 health. So whether you're taking Wegovy, Ozempic, Zepbound, Mounjaro, or another weight loss medication, this is your community for wellness support and honest conversation. Just a reminder, this is not medical advice. We're not doctors. We actually don't know anything about
Yep,
healthcare at all. So please consult with your own healthcare professional before you start or stop any medication or make any changes.
definitely.
I am Elissa. I'm here today with my husband, Jarrod.
Hey, everyone.
We have both been taking tirzepatide for about the same amount of time.
I
About
started maybe 3 weeks ahead of you.
that was 1 week.
That's a few weeks.
Well, anyway, it's about 10 months for both of us. I've lost, I'm going to say 75 pounds.
And I've lost about 65 pounds.
So together we have lost a person. We're married to each other and we have two beautiful children. Today, what we wanted to do was react to some posts that we found online. Again, remember, this is not medical advice. We're just sharing our personal opinion. Also, these are just our totally hot takes. We haven't prepared for these.
Pure entertainment.
Yes, probably not a nuanced approach. So if you have something to add or if you disagree with us, please comment down below. I think these are actually like really great ways for everyone to learn, hear what other people's experiences are, and find some community.
Definitely.
So here's how this is going to go. I'm going to read you the first one. You get to react, then I'll react.
Okay.
Then you read the second one. Yada, yada,
Sounds fun.
yada. Okay. The first poster says, can you lose 80 plus pounds on GLP-1 medications?
Good question.
I had a doctor consultation today with the idea of me wanting to start taking a GLP-1 medication. He told me that these medicines are only capable of making people lose 20% of their body weight. Considering I'm aiming towards losing at least 80 pounds, that made me feel a bit apprehensive. He suggested that I start with the Allurion balloon first, then progress to GLP-1 medications to ensure I can lose all the weight. My question is, have any of you had success with losing that significant amount of weight? Because if there are a lot of genuine success stories, then I can go back and insist on starting the GLP-1 medication. My doctor claims that the stories online are not real, so I don't know what to believe.
Lots of pretend weight loss stories in.
Yes.
So first of all, yes, you can lose 80 plus pounds on GLP-1 medication. Alyssa's almost there right now. Second, this doctor sounds like I would get a different. Just kick that into the
Oh,
screen.
okay.
Yeah, I would definitely get a different doctor. That doctor does not sound like they have done any research whatsoever into GLP-1s, how they work. You can lose 80 pounds in any number of different ways of weight loss. It just so happens that GLP-1s are a very effective way to do that. It's actually really sad that someone's going to a medical professional and trying to get helpful advice, and instead they're getting told to take something that's a lot more invasive, a lot less pleasant than my experience with taking tirzepatide. So
I have to stop you.
yeah,
Okay. So the doctor used the 20% figure, and that definitely comes from somewhere. I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like it's like 22 to 6%
right. I've heard
over
that
the
too.
course of like a certain amount study. And anecdotally online, I have seen more. My success story is genuine. 20% of my body weight would have been a lot less. I've definitely lost maybe 30% or more. But I do think if you're a doctor, you have to stick with what the studies have said. I think 20% is a little bit low.
Right, but he's making it sound like that's a maximum. Like that,
I
once you hit 20%, your weight loss stops, and that's
also
absolutely wrong.
like it's weird because like in the studies, did they also give them diet and exercise counseling? I assume that a study hasn't been done where it's like you take the medication and we don't monitor anything besides whether you're taking it. You take the medication and like count calories. You take the medication and do Weight Watchers or I don't know. Like maybe Sequence, which is owned by Weight Watchers, is doing a study. I don't know.
So, what kind of advice would you give to this nice person that's using Reddit as a way to get their mental advice?
So I do wonder if going to get a second or third opinion would be a good idea. It's like, how do you know before you go into the situation how comfortable the doctor is with that medication? And I don't know anything about that balloon. It sounds like it is pretty invasive.
I don't even know what.
Maybe,
I
yeah,
just imagine like someone like putting a balloon in your stomach, and then there's no room for anything else. Is that how it works?
I don't know. I mean,
Something to research.
yeah, it sounds pretty intense. I've seen, in fact, I know on shout out to the Downsized. They're on YouTube. They're amazing. They have tons of interviews. I was on their interview segment. They had somebody who had previously had, I believe it was a gastric bypass surgery a while ago, and then she was able to lose quite a bit of weight. I wonder if I had gone into bariatric medicine, would I be the kind of doctor who wants to pair the surgery with the medication? Because I also saw an interview with a doctor who did weight loss surgeries, and she liked the idea of marrying them together. And she said, we try to get patients who are over 500 pounds down to 500 pounds because the operating table is only
Oh,
rated for 500 pounds. And there's just like a lot more complications when you're over 500 pounds. So, like, how great would it be if you were 600 pounds, you could take the medication, get down to 500, get the weight loss surgery that would help even more, and eventually be on your way to having all of your health restored? I think that would be amazing. But I also feel like we are on the frontier of using this medication for weight loss. They just approved it for sleep
that's
apnea.
great. Great.
So I don't know. I can't blame doctors for not knowing enough about it. Well, not even enough. Like, they're dependent on the studies, and we just don't have as many studies as we will in 50 years.
One thing I found really helpful in my journey was getting a referral to a specialist. One of the things that I would say suffer from that I have is familial hypercholesterolemia, which is just a genetic predisposition to having higher cholesterol numbers. And so I had my GP, who Elissa and I both go to, give me a referral to a lipidologist at a local hospital. Happens to know a whole lot about GLP-1s, which made the consultation with her very pleasant, very enjoyable.
Isn't she also an endocrinologist?
She's an endocrinologist,
She's like
yes.
amazing if anyone's in Texas and needs a referral
Right.
or someone. And she said, "Oh, your insurance doesn't cover it. I'm going to fight them for you."
Yeah.
But it wasn't on the formulary. So she was like, "Oh,
Oh.
actually, there's no way to get it." But
We have a workaround now.
to have a doctor who says, "I'm going to fight your insurance company
Sounds
for you."
great.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know how you have time for that, but that is amazing.
I think another thing I would recommend to her then is don't even necessarily, hurt the doctor's feelings and get a second opinion. Just be like, hey, I'd love to talk with a specialist. Do you have any referrals to endocrinologist, lipidologist, just so we cover all our bases versus having to find a whole new GP where maybe your doctor's not going to want to give you a referral to
Oh,
another GP.
it sounds like that doctor was a bariatric surgeon.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, but that's what
Maybe.
it sounded like to me. And I feel like to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, but
Right.
to a bariatric surgeon.
So maybe the answer is go back to your GP and say, hey, can I have
Yeah.
an endocrinologist, lipidologist referral?
But I heard that interview with a bariatric surgeon who was very much in favor of marrying surgery plus the medication. Okay, we should go over what we're drinking.
Okay.
This will be a new segment.
Favorite sparkling
Okay, how to
beverages?
hydrate. So this can is 40 calories, which I'm not really counting calories, but I don't want to just drink Coke all the time. These Bowie drinks have a little bit of juice and sparkling water, and they're delicious.
What
And
kind of
this
juice does that
one's
one have? Is that a
passion fruit.
Right.
It's so good. Highly recommend as a treat because they're like $4 each.
And what else are you drinking? What else?
And then I'm also drinking a rim because I like this, and I was very dehydrated today.
Yes, I am more dehydrated than Elissa. I feel like I am always drinking. And
So we went out to this restaurant that just got a Michelin star, and their thing is like corn based.
nice, like artisanal.
Yeah, from different areas of Mexico. It's lovely. But we both were just like super dehydrated.
Yes.
Okay, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking a Sanzo, which is a Japanese inspired sparkling water. This one is pomelo, which is sparkling grapefruit water. And this only has 10 calories,
Wow.
and it has about 7% grapefruit juice.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, and a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of hibiscus extract. So it's pretty fancy.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But was it cheaper than $3.99? Because then you really win.
I doubt it. They're pretty expensive.
They're all
The Ramblers are relatively affordable. You can actually get the Ramblers in large packs at Sam's.
okay, but still, turning on your sink is the cheapest.
My other go-to for hydration is I've gotten into we make our own water.
Okay, so we have a reverse osmosis filter because, side note, one of our children has like horrible sinus passages. So he has to do the neti pot where you like squeeze the water up and it comes out the other way. So rather than like buying distilled water every day for that, you can just make a reverse osmosis pitcher and get a few neti pots out of it.
Yeah. So I get the reverse osmosis water, pour it into a water bottle, add a little bit of liquid IV, which is like an electrolyte mixture. I don't use like a full packet, like a half packet. And I'll drink that. It's a lot easier I feel much more hydrated drinking that versus plain water.
Yeah.
And it's been good, but I still wake up like in 4 a.m, like dying of thirst. the diuretic effect of the
Dehydrated.
medication for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, should we do the next
Yes. Okay. So
post?
read me the next one.
All right. This is in our Zepbound, and the title is Not Dropping Clothes Sizes. Starting weight 384, current weight 319.7, goal weight 300. And this person says, for now, once I hit 300, I'll decide where I'm most comfortable. I've been overweight literally my entire life, so the thought of anything under 240 is still scary. Been on Zep since April, and this was posted recently. Current dose is 7.5. Great momentum in losing weight, and my husband and friends swear they see a difference in my body, but I haven't even really dropped a clothes size. I know there is a difference in my body somewhere because I've been able to fit on theme park rides I didn't in April. Awesome. I'm a big theme park fan. I'm still wearing the same jeans I was wearing April. They're a little more comfortable for sure, but they're still size 26. I have wide hips, bone structure wise, so I don't ever intend on being a size 0. But I would have loved to be in a 24 or 22 at 64 pounds down. My shirts fit differently, but they still fit. They're not so baggy that I'm thinking about new shirts. Anyone else experience this? Are my clothes just shrinking in the dryer? Were my clothes too small when I started? I want to see some progress.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like this person is female. Yeah, because they're doing women's sizing. I feel like the way that my clothing sizes dropped off was about every 30 pounds. I would have to try everything on. And very rarely did I try something on and I was like, oh my gosh, my pants are falling off of
Right.
me. It was more like, for me, it would just look saggy in the legs. Maybe the hips would fit. I lost my butt pretty quickly, which was very depressing because I thought my butt had muscle, but it didn't. It was just fat and I just lost it and it was sad. But we're working on the muscle.
Yeah.
The knees were kind of like stretched out when I would lose too much weight and the leg parts would just sag, especially in joggers made of the yoga pant material. They would just look,
Yeah.
it just wasn't good.
Like hammer pants.
Yeah. And oh, something else is I've never had a floor length mirror in my house. I have the bathroom mirror where you see waist up, and I installed a mirror by the door so everyone can check their
But
appearance.
it's not quite floor length.
Yeah, it's not quite floor length and it's kind of at an angle anyway. So this person may just like not be seeing themselves accurately in a mirror. And then also, the really weird thing is that we cannot really look in a mirror and see our body all the time. Sometimes, like, I would glimpse myself walking past a window or something and be freaked out by my reflection. That's really how happened after about the first 3 months for me. So I feel like this person, their body really may be physically changing. One recommendation that I have is the Me 360 app.
That's a good one.
I think that if you do the free version, you get 30 scans.
And how much is the paid version?
It's $5 a month, which I feel like is kind of overpriced, actually. I think you should get it, scan yourself as soon as you're starting the drug, and then maybe like monthly thereafter or every 2 months, and you'll probably never run out of your 30 free scans. But I think that if I am looking at myself, I can always compare their scanned version of my body from where it is now and where it is at any other point in time, right? So then you can be like, oh no, I do see a difference. And it's not exact, like it's not an exact replica of your body, but it's enough to give you some idea.
But
So
what's also weird is our bodies aren't losing fat uniformly
no,
across yourself. Like for me, I lost like my neck shrank, my face I think kind of shrank faster than my stomach and thighs. Like most of my fat right now is still on
right.
my thighs and on my stomach, and I'm gonna have to, in order to lose that, continue to cut and sort of bulk simultaneously
Yeah.
and work out and
I'm like
lose and
also like stomach and inner thighs. I still have a lot of facial fat, which I think is good. I feel like there's like Ozempic face hate.
how's my facial fat?
Who knows?
Who knows? You can't
Who
tell.
knows what's under there? But I think that like the facial fat helps me. But also, let's stop hating on people for losing weight.
Yeah.
And then they lose some fat in their face. That's called being alive.
Yeah, I've definitely been in conversations where people are like, "Oh, Ozempic."
Yeah, yeah. The haters. Haters gotta hate. What percentage of your weight did you lose before you started feeling
So
like
I feel like for me, it was over 30 pounds
me too?
because I think until then I could get away with not really having to size down. And so I had to lose almost half of my current weight
Yeah.
loss to feel it. But then once I hit that, I was dropping sizes really
Right. And it's almost annoying because you can't keep up with it and you don't know what size your body is. It like kind of it's very weird.
Yeah,
Like I
right.
still don't really know what size I am because like all the brands have different sizing.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
this person started at 384. That would take longer.
And there also could be like a lot of water weight that wasn't necessarily like increasing
Mhm.
your mass. It could have been like
Or if you hold it in your hips. then
Right.
your shirt size might go down
You could
faster than
have
your
some
pant
visceral
size.
fat that's just sort of mixed in with your organs, and like that's not necessarily increasing your like mass the same way.
You mean like they're losing their
Yeah.
visceral fat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. You just
you
don't
wouldn't
know.
know
And
yet.
that goes to the DEXA scan, which is
Yeah.
another, if I were starting over, I would have gotten a DEXA scan. My starting weight was about 240. I would have gotten a DEXA scan at 240. So I could have taken one at 210 and then
Yeah.
190. And then now my first DEXA scan I got at like 195. And so I
Okay.
didn't get to see the full change. I have taken some Me360s more frequently than the DEXA. It'd be kind of fun to take one soon.
Yeah.
But I would take the DEXA scan as another way to see exactly where you're losing it. And this person's clothes may have also been sort of tight to begin with. And sometimes when you're at that weight, you don't realize that you're like not sized properly.
Right.
And so she could have,
Because you know what? Sorry, but especially for women, once you get into those plus size clothes, I swear, like, they're not cutting them well for
they're just
anyone.
making it as they go along.
Yeah, yeah, I just feel like they, like, not putting effort into making them fit well, and so then you're just kind of, like, dealing with, "Well, I guess this is what it is," or I can wear yoga pants and an oversized t-shirt all the time because it's comfortable and, kind of fits my body, but then, like, you can't for me personally, as a big yoga pant and jogger wear, you can't exactly see whether you're shrinking until you
Right.
get to a certain point where really I had a pair of Lululemon pants where it was like, "Okay, these are not gonna
Yep.
stay up
Yeah.
anymore."
Yeah.
Sad.
When did you feel like you've started like dropping the sizes really quickly?
So, I think after I lost about 30 pounds, I took a day and I took all so we live in an apartment and we have to be really aware of our closet
Well, yeah,
space.
having to buy new plus sizes plus the old sizes,
Yeah.
like you were bursting at the seams.
I took everything, I put it on the kitchen island, I set up a tripod, and I took pictures of myself wearing every item of clothing I had, and I found that about 60 to 70% of them needed to go for one reason or another. So, I basically was left with, again, like, workout clothes, a couple of dresses, that was about it, and since then, I've been trying to buy new things, and then there've already been things that I bought that are now no longer good. There's also things that I bought that looked okay in my body then, but now my body's changed shape, so it fits, but I would just rather not.
I also think it's a less drastic, like I started like XXL. I think there's a less drastic move from XXL to L versus L to medium.
I also think, though, if you're in 3X, it can take you forever to get down to 2X
Yeah.
because, like, I think they just cut them big versus now when I'm buying, like, pants, now they're, like, I don't know, tighter on the waistband, and
Yeah, I
again,
feel like like you're in size small for some brands. Like it's crazy.
it's
I still
very
think they
hard.
make up
Yeah,
sizes.
yeah, yeah. It's like, what is
What
what
is
is
life?
yeah, okay. Should I do the next one? The OP says, "Before I started losing weight, I had a whole drawer of clothes I couldn't fit. Now I've blown past all of it and feel like at no point did any of these clothes fit me right."
I
Okay,
feel that.
we are so on the same page. Like some clothes, my arms would just be too big for the sleeves and the torso would fit with extra room by the time my arms fit the rest of the top is a dress. All this to say, I really need to go clothes shopping.
Yep, I feel that in my bones. And it's funny, there used to be certain brands or stores I wouldn't even bother going into
Mhm.
because I feel like they just didn't make clothes for larger people. And
Mhm.
now there are brands that I can't go into because they only have larger sizes and I can't find sizes that fit me.
Mhm.
Like the whole athleisure brand was unavailable to me because like when you're an XXL, you just don't look the same way wearing a tighter fit, like long sleeve shirt with joggers. It's just
Mhm.
not a good look. But now that's a very comfortable thing to do.
Mhm.
So I think it's almost like the brands aren't made for larger people. It sucks, but it's true. But then you go clothes shopping and you just find like a new normal is
Mhm.
what I've seen. Do you think it's fun clothes shopping now? Has that been
I get overly stimulated in stores, and I don't enjoy it, and I really don't want I both don't want people bugging me while I'm shopping, but then I don't want to need help and I can't find anyone.
so what I did was I found the brand that worked for me and figured out my size and then I just buy it online.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
I
this
think
top right
that's
is Uniqlo, which is cheap, but it fits my body.
yeah. But I really had stopped largely shopping in stores. I would buy a lot of things online, and then now I feel like I have to physically try things on. And also, I've gotten into checking the construction and the type of fabric to be sure it's really good. There's this YouTuber, TikToker that I kind of got hooked on who she'll go into a store and look at multiple things and see what the quality is like. So now I really enjoy looking at the fabric. I don't have any desire to try things on. I don't have any desire to deal with crowds. And then I had to buy a dress for a Christmas event we were going to. I was in Nordstrom, I circled the store twice trying to find some help. It's like, yeah, right. Carrying this really long dress just so I could try on a dressing room.
That's a pain.
And I had to go to a different department, but then they rang up the sale. So at least they got credit for it because they did help me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't enjoy the shopping experience. I wanted to start shopping on like Poshmark or Thread. So I'm not buying like new clothes and being wasteful that way. But I was going to say, okay, so I still had, just because I don't know why I had this, but I have some old dresses. I hadn't thrown them out. I don't know why. These dresses were like
How old were they?
from before I had my son. So he's 12. I think even I had one dress. Actually, I bought it before we got married.
Wow.
I know that. Yeah. Loved that dress, but it never fit right on me.
Does it-
No. And I thought that at the time it was because I had extra stomach fat and I needed to lose it. I think I'm slightly smaller now than before we got married. So I like put that dress on. This was like a month ago. I easily zipped it up and I realized the way it's cut, you can't see because I'm not standing up. It just has like all this extra fabric that
Like on the
pushes
stomach?
out in the stomach.
Oh, terrible.
Like it's like a slip dress, but it's tailored. So it's like tight here, has a band right here, and then it comes down and it's just like extra billowy fabric at the stomach and then tight again at the legs. It's, I don't know, like mermaidy without, anyway, I don't know. I can't describe it, but it's just badly cut. And I bought this when I was like working full time and in school full time and didn't have extra time or money. And I think I just went to TJ Maxx and I feel like I always thought, oh, my body is the problem, not like these clothes are cut to fit something.
Like a
I thought,
Minecraft.
yeah, no, my body is not the problem. And so
Yeah.
that's why I get mad about the plus size clothes because I feel like I always was like, oh, my body is the problem. I just can't
No,
find something
that's
cute.
not
But
no.
come on, guys. As women, we want to look cute. Give us some cute clothes. And I used to spend a heck of a lot of money on clothes that weren't even that cute.
That sucks.
Okay.
Do you have any brands now that you enjoy that you didn't enjoy
Brands
before?
that I like. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. We just went to Vineyard Vines to buy stuff for our son because he is in the awkward baby giraffe phase.
Oh,
So
cute.
he's like,
Just like
he's
fucks
like
around.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so his waist fits a lot of pants, but his legs are, so we got some stuff at Vineyard Vines
so
for
handsome.
him. He's such a cute little
Giraffe.
giraffe. And we had a lot of time because he was trying on like everything in the store to find something that worked for him.
We did find something.
And so Jarrod found a cashmere sweater for himself.
Yes.
And it was lovely and it was soft. And it was like, oh, you should just get that. That's just so nice for the winter. And then he handed me a sweater and I was like, yeah, I'll try it on. And it wasn't cashmere, but it
It was like a
was peanut
blend.
cotton,
Yeah.
like super soft.
Very soft.
Oh,
It's cute.
this is nice. But it was pretty preppy, like preppier than I've ever dressed before. And then I just grabbed some corduroy pants and I loved the outfit. But all of a sudden I was like, I look like I'm like a lady that went to Ole Miss and she's like coming back for her college football game. I don't know. I'm from the South, I guess. I'm from Texas, but I don't dress in that like preppy Southern like sorority style.
It was preppy and you liked it.
I really liked that. It was just so soft and cozy, but comfortable. Okay, ladies, I see you. I see why you're doing
we were a
what you
preppy
do.
family that day.
Other stuff. Okay. My favorite. Okay. So I like feeling like squished in. I like the feeling of like pressure
Like
from my
constriction.
clothes. Yeah. So there is a brand of leggings that I found recommended on Reddit for weightlifting. Cause like when I'm squatting and stuff, like I just want everything to
Stay in place.
I just want that extra support. Cause
Yeah.
like for Pilates and for weightlifting, you're supposed to be like
It's like
fully
engaged,
in control.
yeah.
So the brand is LNDR. They are in the UK. I took the plunge. I feel like it was like $135
Is it
or
worth it?
more. So worth it. So I've since bought 2 more pairs of leggings. I did buy a sports bra, didn't love it. It was just like
Too much
cut.
compression.
No, it was just weird. It was just weird on my body. But the leggings are amazing. So I'm really into them and I'll buy almost anything they have for sale. But for me, the higher compression ones are better. What else? Oh, the Christmas dress that I got, the maker is called the House of CB. And that's another one that I tried on multiple of their dresses. Everything is very well constructed in the like corset upper part of the dress.
Nice.
Yeah, I really liked that. Like I didn't feel like I was like spilling over out of it. And it just felt, okay, the skirt part is a skirt, but the top part is structured. So I'll definitely buy more House of CB dresses when I need, well, probably next Christmas.
Yeah.
Next time we have a symphony event. What else do I like? I have bought about 6 pairs of a Lululemon dupe
Yes.
on Amazon. I believe, okay, so it's called CRZ Yoga. This is another Reddit find. It's very popular
Yep.
as a dupe for Lululemon. And I buy the Butterluck line. So they have leggings, but personally I prefer the joggers that are made out of it. Because I feel like I can wear joggers to work out, but I can also like throw on a jacket
And
and
like
I'm good
dressing up a
there.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So CRZ Yoga, Better Lux, it's way cheaper than Lululemon. It's not the same. I think Lulu is like a nicer quality, but if you're going to be growing out of clothes, then
Get the ones that are $30 versus $100.
exactly. And they get snags and things
Yeah.
like that. But
I like the men's like workout t-shirts probably the best. I don't wear as many of the bottoms.
so what are you into right now?
Right now I'm wearing some joggers. I like the just long sleeve right now in winter in Houston. It's a balmy like 60 degrees. So
So I'm wearing a jacket. I'm
yeah,
so cold
I
today.
know. Like the Uniqlo t-shirts, and those are great because again, it's like a quarter of the price of like your athleisure. I can get like a t-shirt for 20 or
Mhm.
$30. If I want to splurge, I'll get like a pair of Vori joggers, which fit me better than the CRZ yoga joggers. And one rough part about losing weight was having to totally redo my business wardrobe for work. Like I had to get rid of literally thousands of dollars
It's
of
so
clothing. It was
expensive.
terrible. So I've been holding off as long as possible, like getting a full new work wardrobe. Like I have a couple of items, but at some point I'm going to have to just take the plunge and get a bit more. Because I got a new suit probably halfway through the weight loss,
Yeah.
and even that's like looking a little baggy.
So how much do you think your body's going to change now?
I don't know. That's a good question because right now I'm going back and forth between 175 and 180, but I've really amped up the weight training. And so I'm putting on, like I can tell I'm putting on more muscle.
Mhm.
What do you think? Have you seen a difference or is that,
I don't know. I see you every day,
that's
so don't
true.
take it personally.
Yeah.
But I wonder, so let's say you lost 10 pounds of fat and put on 10 pounds of muscle, your scale weight would stay the same. Would your clothes fit any
Maybe it
different?
depends where like if I'm putting on like a lot of like muscle in my chest, I can see like a medium feeling tight or something
Okay.
like that.
And for suits, does it matter more than
Yeah,
like
I think
off the
so.
rack clothes?
Yeah, for suits, because that measurement's going to be measuring across your chest. Like
Mm.
if you're bulked up in your chest and you can't button your suit jacket because you've
Mhm.
got too much, mass in your chest.
I think from what I've researched, because we're basically beginners at heavy lifting, if we went really hard for 3 years, we could put on, you have testosterone
That helps.
more than I do, but you could probably put on like 15 to 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And I could maybe put on 10, maybe. I don't know. I've lost a lot of muscle, so maybe it'll be easier for me to fill
Yeah.
up those cells. At that point, you would think you'd go up a size.
You would think so. Go up to a large from a medium. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe you'd be losing fat too. So
Hard to
maybe
say.
it would just, I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think we should do the next?
Let's do the
post?
next one.
All right. All right. I'll read this one.
Okay. That's
So
long.
yes, but I enjoy reading.
Yeah.
So the OP, and this is again in our Zepbound. It's a 26-year-old female, 5'9", starting weight 240, current weight 220. Can't read what her goal weight is. And the title is People Commenting on Weight Loss. You all probably know this one. Hi, so I've been on Zepbound for a little over 3 weeks now, though I started gradually losing weight on October 4 after having ACL and meniscus repair surgery and also stopping drinking. Oof, ACL and meniscus repair surgery. I'd been binge drinking consistently for 2 years on and off since I was 20. I'm now 26. Zepbound's a good thing.
Yeah.
We'll get into that
That's
in a little bit.
great.
Recently, people have been saying things like, wow, you look different. In general, I'd rather people not comment on my body, but I understand it's a human thing. Lately, though, it's been stuff like, oh, you're shrinking, don't disappear. I'm just like, WTF, crying emoji, laughing, crying emoji. Typing that out feels so melodramatic, haha. It started to get annoying with my family, though. Every time I see them, they're so hyper-focused on my smaller frame and asking if I'm eating. I know it's coming from a place of care, but my dad was genuinely like, I'm just so worried that you don't eat. I do, I swear. I haven't lost weight like this since I was 18, so when I read about other people's experiences with weight loss, I remember thinking, that's so weird. Why would people comment on your body? Lo and behold, it turns out to be the universal experience of losing weight. Everyone thinks it's appropriate to say something. On that note, I feel freaking amazing, y'all. My alcohol cravings are almost down to 0. It's like this monster in my brain went to sleep, and it's made my productivity skyrocket. I just finished my first term of grad school with a 3.7 GPA. I'm now a size 12. I've started a new novel that I adore. It makes my soul so happy. I finished an album that's ready to be recorded, and my vocal range has increased since I stopped drinking. I'm now hitting almost 3 full octaves, a D sharp third to an E6, and I'm 77 days sober today. That's such an uplifting post.
Wow.
And so, yeah, golf applause. That's awesome.
Wow.
So there's a lot to unpack in that one. There's a lot of
Yeah, the alcoholism jumps out at me, and I feel like
how much are you drinking at this point?
we did drink last night.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, so I'm not anti-drinking, but I did recently read that the trend has changed in the scientific literature, the thinking where there is really no amount of alcohol that we can say, you should drink this for your health. All the ideas that alcohol could be healthy, you could get the health benefits elsewhere.
Right. I think what I was getting at was not so much that we had a drink when we went out to dinner.
It
There
was
was a
great.
point, it was great. But there was a point where I was having a casual drink
At
every
night,
night. And
too, during COVID
to,
sometimes.
yeah, and
And it was lovely.
it was lovely, but like that craving isn't there to do that anymore. It would be pouring some bourbon, making a cocktail. I'd already weaned off of beer because I had that was rough on me. But when I was younger, I was having like 1 or 2 beers every night. And I never got to the point of binge drinking, but I struggled
Consistently.
consistently drinking, and it was a struggle to
Right.
not drink. And now I don't have an urge to drink even when I'm going out to eat. It's more, oh, that could be fun.
And if we are gonna drink, I'm intentionally like, how can I minimize this? What's the weakest drink I can get?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't want that feeling. It feels different on my body, I guess, because of the delayed digestion. So I definitely want to be sure I'm eating while I drink and I'm having like a weak drink over a long period of
Yeah.
time. So if we are gonna make a drink, we have stuff to make Americanos, which is like a Negroni, but without any liquor. So it's one that, okay, you can enjoy I like the herbaceous, bitter taste of drinks
Yeah.
sometimes. So you can enjoy the flavor and feel like a grown up and not really get an alcohol hit. I don't feel it. And then we also tried those non-alcoholic spirits.
Yeah.
And there's
Mix
some,
those with ginger ale or something.
and the herbaceousness of that is
Yeah.
really lovely. So why would I'd only have alcohol if I don't have the
Right.
non-alcoholic
And we've been getting
stuff.
mocktails now too, if we got to eat.
Lots of places have them now too.
0
Like
proof.
almost every cool bar
It's gonna have
that we would go
something.
to, yeah, has 1 or 2. We live in a place that has a bar downstairs, and they have 2 great
One's like
non-alcoholic
a
drinks.
tamarind-based
Mhm.
mocktail, but it's pretty great.
It's
So
pretty great.
I don't know if they've done full-blown studies, do you know, about how Zepbound affects addiction and alcohol
I
cravings?
feel like I've heard from Reddit that there was one in the works, but I feel like within 5 years, they're gonna have a laundry list of disorders or illnesses that they're approving this medication to
Do you
treat.
think
Like,
insurance will start paying me at that point?
no, I don't. That's different. Insurance is a different issue. For those of us who are lucky enough to be able to afford it, it can help you so far with sleep apnea, different heart conditions, metabolic conditions, and I think alcoholism. And I also wonder about other compulsive
Yeah.
behaviors, shopping or gambling or whatever.
Yeah. Can we also comment on how she's lost like 20 pounds in 3 weeks? That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
that's crazy. That seems really fast. Or she may have lost some of the weight since October, though.
Yeah,
Because that
that's a
would
good
make
point.
more sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like I lost quite a bit fast because it had a diuretic effect, but I also think with that went my inflammation.
Yeah.
So I feel like I lost within the first month quite a bit, not 20, but a lot. And my inflammation went down significantly. So that could be part of it. But then she sounds like so productive, like
Yeah.
super type A. But I also just wonder what is up with every family has a different culture. In my family, we really don't comment on other people's bodies.
How about my family? A little different.
Your family will do it
Behind
behind
your-
people's backs.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? We've been totally honest with your family because, like, his family, everyone is in the medical field or married to someone in the medical field, pretty much.
And
Or
they're-
just grew up with parents in the medical field, so they know a lot about it too.
Or they'll dabble in GLP-1s, even though they're already
Yeah.
it's a different issue.
But with all those effects that we were talking about, like, you can be thin and still have sleep
Right.
apnea and it can still help you,
Right.
but you probably need to do a lower dose. I don't know how that would work because you wouldn't want to lose
Right.
weight. But
Yeah.
and I hope that this is something that will also help us delay the onset of dementia in people. And
Yeah.
that can happen to anybody, no matter
Yeah.
what their BMI is. I'm all for anyone taking GLP-1s under the advice and consent of your doctor if you think it's good for you. But I feel like these messages that we get from our family, because there are even people that we know that feel comfortable saying things to us about our bodies, and you get it more than me.
Right.
It makes me incredibly uncomfortable, and it's just not a part of my polite culture, but some people do it anyway.
Have you had anyone yet come up to you and be like, "You're losing too much weight"? Stop.
Nobody
See, I've
has
gotten
said.
that, and it's people I don't even really know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's
Because you're still here. You haven't shrunk so much.
But I was getting those comments 30 pounds ago when I was like maybe 200. They'd be like, "What do you stop losing weight?
Mhm.
You're so tiny. I can't see you." And it sounds like she's getting the same types of comments, down 20 pounds. Someone feels a need to stop you from getting
Why do you think
like,
that is?
I don't know. I wonder if it's like just a shock maybe to their system to see you smaller than what they're comfortable with. It's disorienting. Or I think,
Oh, you know what? It is though.
yeah,
Because when I see myself, sometimes I'm like, who is that?
yeah. So I think that's part of it. I think
Yeah.
other people, maybe there's some jealousy mixed in that they're not losing weight at that pace or that easily.
I think it is like it's not body dysmorphia because it'd be for somebody else, but I think it's the same thing that happens with us where you're like, my brain is used to seeing you looking like this, but really fast, now you look like this. And I'm sure, like, evolutionarily over the history of humans, if a human drastically changed how they looked in 3 months, they were dying
Yeah.
or at war or starving or whatever. So maybe there's something in our brains that are just like, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you had
That's what
any?
it is. I think I just figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a legit concern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you had anyone come up to you and be like, are you losing weight the old fashioned way or are you
No,
taking a shot? I've
no.
had that too.
I think that is one benefit I get as a woman. It's like people are a little more, I don't want to scare you because I would be like, come again.
Yeah.
I think that with men, people feel more comfortable to comment, which is sad because I feel like anybody can have like emotional hangups. You don't know what somebody else is
Right.
dealing with. But then I also see comments online where people are like, no one's noticed my weight loss and this feels sad. But I did not ever, I don't want to think about my body and how other people respond to my
Right.
body. That's just not a thing that I feel comfortable with. So it makes me uncomfortable all the time.
You know what comment I actually like the best
Mm.
is, have you been working out? I like that one. That one's much more fun.
But you have been
I have been
working
working
out.
out, but that feels less judgmental for some reason, like than some of the other
Interesting.
comments, because I think people associate working out with you're putting in the work, you're suffering versus taking the easy way out of taking that GLP-1. I think our culture has this mindset that gaining weight is a moral failing. And so losing weight, you have to have some penance of suffering associated with it to make
Mhm.
up for your puritanical punishment of like gluttony of when in reality, we just have hormone, imbalances with our.
Also, though, I think it's a really lovely idea that if we just do everything right in life, nothing bad will ever happen to us. If I just eat organic, I'll never get cancer. I'm an anti-football person because I do not want my child to get CTE. Well, he got a brain tumor. But like we still think, okay, if I do everything right, then it's all going to go okay for me. So if you have health problems due to your metabolic conditions or whatever, that must be because you did something wrong.
That's very 1700s of you.
But is it?
Yeah, it's a puritanical
I think
belief.
so. Life is a vending machine. Just put in good things. And of course, making good decisions helps. And also, life is not a vending machine. It's more like a craps table.
It is a crap stick or roulette wheel.
Roulette wheel. Yeah. So
It's a wheel of
kudos to
fortune.
this girl, though.
Yeah,
She's
killing it.
singing better. Her GPA is good. She got surgery in the middle of her first semester of grad
77
school, and
days
she still has a
sober.
great GPA. Wow.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's winning. Winning. All
Should we
right.
do one more?
Let's do a last one. Last one.
Okay, the last one. All right, Jarrod just read the title.
Yes.
Okay, OP says, oh, this is sad, y'all. With Zepbound's constipation,
I'm laughing because I've struggled with constipation.
it landed me in the emergency room with an infected appendix. I did, as the Mayo Clinic warned, get to an emergency room within the first 24 hours. But I can't read that word. It's like malefactors, prioritized people with the flu before me. By the time a surgeon went in,
Oh,
16
no.
hours later, the appendix had
That
burst.
is so
We have
sad.
a friend to whom that happened.
Who did it happen?
Like-
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't from constipation.
No, but he went to the gunshot hospital, like the
Right.
public hospital that's really good at trauma, just because that's where the ambulance took him. And then he was in the hospital for a week. Okay, so what do you think?
Yeah. So I didn't know that constipation could lead to. A
Okay, so
blockage.
there is some debate about this, so I'll read a little bit more.
Okay.
So somebody quoted from the Cleveland Clinic website, feces moving through your large intestine can block or infect your appendix, leading to inflammation. Inflammation causes your appendix to swell, and when it swells, it can burst. But other people were like, no, this isn't true. It's not related. But it seems from my very quick Reddit reading, it seems that there are good sources that say that constipation can lead to.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So constipation is like a scourge.
Yeah. Like the
GLP-1s.
nemesis of
Yeah.
a GLP-1 user.
Yeah. So I've worked hard on that. And I think the things that help the most,
Sorry.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
funny way to
don't
say
bear
it.
down. I think staying super hydrated, and then I use the little fiber gummies.
Do you like them?
I do like them, and it's actually I've learned that it's not the fiber that's actually helping; it's the glycerin that's in the gummy. That's doing it. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. It's just funny. Okay. Do you have any other things that you've tried for right when you started? Were you like, okay, I know constipation can be a symptom.
Yeah.
And what did you try right at first?
So I've done the psyllium husks.
It's good for your
I
cholesterol.
do like the psyllium husks.
Do you still do that?
I still buy your bedside table.
So I do the pills, but he bought the giant keg o powder.
Which is more effective than the pills because you can get a more concentrated serving of the fiber. Like when you look at how many pills you have to take to equal the fiber of the mixed in psyllium, it's a lot of pills. So I like the psyllium husk mix. I haven't taken it in a while. I should take.
I really want you to
Okay.
because of your cholesterol.
Cholesterol,
Cholesterol, y'all. We're old.
We are old. So done that. The Miralax supplement, is that what it's called? The white powder. I forget the name. Anyways, whatever.
So you mix it in your water or whatever.
Yeah, and that helps as well. And it's supposed to be like a natural of just getting more fluid into your intestines.
Is it safe to take every day?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
How often do you use it? Not every day.
Well, no, and I don't use it at all right now.
Okay.
But when I was on lower doses, kind of ramping up, I'd use it maybe every 2 or 3 days.
Do you feel like now that your body is more used to it, the constipation isn't as much of an issue, or you're just kind of like, okay, I've got the things I do?
I think it's not as much of an issue as my body's adjusted to the medication, but I'm also still using those other tools to keep things healthy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't feel like I had it as much as you. I think it's because when I started, I was doing the vegan diet. So a lot of fiber, and I was eating a lot of oatmeal because of the cholesterol. And then I tried because I'd love to use your psyllium husk powder. It'd be a lot cheaper than the capsules. So I tried to add it to like when I would blend up a protein shake. And that was a horrible idea. It was
crunchy and gritty.
just thick. It was not good. Or like you have to drink it as fast as you possibly can. So I can't do that powder. And I'm not really interested in taking Miralax. When I was like first starting and the medication was really strong, when I really wanted sugar, I would have Centrum gummy and then I have vitamin D gummy. And then when I found the fiber gummy, I was like, oh, now I get a bigger dessert.
I like the vitamin D gummies.
Yeah. So now for dessert, I have pineapple with cottage cheese and Greek yogurt. And
I do
that
Greek
has
yogurt with honey.
way more protein. It's very expensive to use gummy vitamins as your dessert. I do not recommend that to anyone, but that is literally the amount of thought that I put into the fiber gummies. I cannot say that they helped or hurt the situation. And usually the constipation doesn't get me until like day 4, 5, and 6, somewhere in there. Like right after I take the shot, the constipation doesn't bother me. And then if I have my Jennifer Aniston salad, like 2 servings a day, usually it's no problem. But I do try to take the psyllium husks just to move things along. Oh, and then I take magnesium a lot of nights to help me sleep. But yeah, like it definitely has a laxative effect.
Magnesium pills? Do you take a magnesium powder?
I take Mag 07 pills. I get distracted. I change my routine. So I was really killing it when I would I think it was called like the Healthy Girl cocktail or something. So it was like,
is that with the cherry juice?
Yes. So the tart cherry juice, and then I would mix in the
magnesium,
Calm,
whatever. Calm, yeah.
And then I would top it off with some sparkling water for a little pizzazz.
And then go take a hot bath.
And sometimes I take a hot bath. And very important to me was put in one of those we have a square ice cube maker.
Ice cube.
I don't know why. I really needed that ice cube.
Your magnesium mocktail.
Yeah. And I just felt so sophisticated and so healthy at the same time.
You were so sophisticated.
I know. And then, yes, a hot bath would be like amazing. And then if I did take a hot bath, I always would bring in like a big old thing of water with me and just sit there and force the fluids.
I wasn't forcing the fluids.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But then the bath is so hot that I'm like sweating like uncontrollably.
So you're like losing all
and I'm losing all the water. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So is there anything else you want to say?
No, just looking forward to the next one.
So this is all we got. Thanks for being here, guys. If you made it all the way through, we would love to hear your takes on these things because, again, we're not doctors and we actually don't know anything.
This is just kind of our ramblings.
Yeah. Yeah. So please join in and we will see you soon.
And subscribe, come on back.
That one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.